There are many ways to make barbecue, and it seems like someone's always trying to push a method on how to make spare ribs. 3-2-1 method, 2-2-1 method, hot and fast party ribs, no wrap method, and the list goes on. So today, instead of covering a method, we are covering a few tips and tricks you can use regardless of the method you are using to cook them. So whether you're new to barbecue or a seasoned backyard pro, these bits of information may help you level up your barbecue game. And it's right here on Al Lunacy Queuing. Welcome back, my good people. I'm Al Lunacy, and this is Al Lunacy Queuing. Backyard barbecue has been a favorite pastime for many, but with the younger generation beginning to enjoy this pastime as well, many people are looking to level up their barbecue game. Many of us learn on our own through trial and error, but a quicker way to level up your barbecue game is to take a few pointers from the competition barbecue scene. Now, I know that backyard barbecue is a little different from competition barbecue, but we can still learn a few tips and tricks that will make a more presentable, flavorful bite of barbecue for you and your family to enjoy. So that's exactly what we're doing today with our Backyard BBQ Secrets covering St. Louis Spareribs.
Why would Prairie Fresh be preferred use of spare ribs or ribs?
But sometimes IBP comes out with some very good ones that are thicker, right? This one's a pretty good thick one. I know that I have some that are thicker, but it just depends. See how this one is? So I like these. Sometimes IBP will come out with even thicker ones, and then I'll start buying IBP for that for a little while. They're always changing. Sometimes these will be better. Sometimes IBPs will be better. Smithfield, they've been slacking, so
yeah,
I haven't bought Smithfield. They're too skinny. They have a lot of fat. They're real skinny, and they don't get no meat out of it.
Prairie Fresh natural St. Louis style spare ribs are often favored by competition pitmasters and backyard cooks alike due to several specific production and processing standards. First off, their pork are fresh cuts with no artificial additives or injections added, unlike other brands that are injected with salted water or sodium phosphate to increase weight and shelf life. Unlike many brands that source their hogs from various third-party auctions, Prairie Fresh uses a connected food system. They own the farms, manage the specialized feed, and operate the processing plants. This control allows for a level of consistency in the meat quality, size, and fat content that is difficult to achieve with a fragmented supply chain. The 3.25 downsizing means racks weigh 3¼ pounds or less, ensuring tender, evenly cooking meat from younger hogs. The brand uses high-tech equipment to sort premium ribs based on objective measures like marbling in color rather than visual checks. Their St. Louis cut is neatly trimmed for even cooking and a clean presentation, providing a natural canvas because they aren't pumped full of salt water, allowing your specific rub and smoke profile to be the star.
So this right here, kind of like a membrane that you could cut off, you could leave it on. That's just going to protect this other meat. So this is going to be kind of darkened up, and what we're going to be using is, for a competition it'll be this, but for backyard you could use the whole thing. This back here will cook a little bit different, so I'm just going to cut it right there.
It'll take longer.
It'll take longer. We could cook it, and we could just leave it there as a snack or something. This is the fajita of the pork, and you could throw it away. You could use it. It's got a little membrane on it. You can make a guisado with it. Comes out really good. Right here, what I'm gonna do is cut from where the bone is on the bone side. Just cut, just a little bit. So the bone doesn't become like all bone. The meat will shrivel up once you put it on foil, and so just pull it apart with a napkin, turn it back around. We got pretty much everything. You don't need to trim none of this. Fat is flavor, so I'm just gonna clean that up a little bit right there, and that's it. You can see the marbling here.
Could we go back to the membrane here?
Yes.
So you did leave this part of the membrane.
Yes, this is on.
And the reason for that is if you leave the whole membrane on, it tends to tense up. And
no, it'll shrivel up when you put it in, when you wrap it in foil or butcher paper. So I just want these bones to become visible a little bit just for presentation. So I don't want this to run all the way over here. So I leave this membrane.
Right.
Because I've done it before, and you'll see bones on both sides. and it looks ugly. So I've always done it.
To minimize the pull on the bone,
Yes.
just do that part of the.
Exactly.
So to summarize tip number 2, trimming off the lower part of the rib membrane will help minimize the bone pull, so that at the end of the cook you'll have a little bit of a bone off one side of the rib to use as a handle to eat, making it more presentable and convenient for your guests to eat.
You put a little bit of butter or a lot, no matter, and put some mustard. So the butter's gonna help you get the bark, you know, and the mustard's gonna help you. I mean, you can even do it just with mustard or with butter, but we have both, so we're gonna use both. And what we're gonna use here is a Texas rib grind as a base, you know, just like that.
What's the reason to the base?
Base rubs are usually a coarse rub and usually contain a foundation of salt and pepper. Topping rubs are usually finer rubs compared to the base and add another layer of flavor like savoriness. In this case, the second rub will add more sweetness to our ribs.
It's the sweet heat, Texas sweet grind.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that color, man.
Yeah. So if you leave it, if you just leave it like that for a little bit, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, you're gonna see it all go. It's gonna look like very smooth. It's gonna go in, start penetrating into the meat.
Once the ribs begin to sweat, they are put on an indirect fire with the thickest part towards the heat source.
So this is gonna be the more tender part right here. This is what I want away from the fire to protect you, you know. And this is the part where we cut off.
Charcoal logs are used for the heat source with pecan chips for the smoke. As the ribs begin to cook, the rest of the class was seasoning the parts of the ribs that were trimmed off to smoke for later. At about an hour and 30 minutes later, Elias decides to take a look at how the ribs are doing. As the ribs cook, moisture is pulled from the meat and myoglobin, a mixture of protein and water, begin to appear on top. So Elias uses a paper towel to try and clean a little bit of that bleed through off. With the rub set on the ribs, this next tip are for those who decide to wrap the ribs. We first start off with butter laid in foil, followed by brown sugar. Then a little bit of honey. Place the ribs on top and apply the same. Next is the wrapping liquid. We are using Chicken Fried's pork and rib wrap, but you can also use juice like apple juice, pineapple juice, or mango juice, or water mixed with apple cider vinegar, or even sodas like Coke, Dr. Pepper, root beer, or even Big Red. The liquid will keep the ribs moist and braise in the foil so that they will turn tender quicker. Whether you wrap or not, cook your ribs to a temp of about 203 degrees or until they probe tender. Then the last tip will be the glazing finish. About an hour or so later, Elias unwraps the ribs and you could see them braising in the liquid. They feel tender, so let's move on to the last tip on glazing suggestions. Because the class was being hosted by Extreme Outdoors, we had a few rub and glazing options. Elias chose Gulf Coast Smoke's cherry pineapple glaze to finish off the ribs. It gave the ribs a nice shiny finish. You can also use a barbecue sauce of your choice or even a mixture of both glaze and barbecue sauce. The ribs were left on the pit for about 10 minutes more for the glaze to caramelize, then it was time to cut into them. The slicing knife made easy work of the ribs, and when they were finally placed in the foil tray, you can see that little pool of bone on the bottom side, as mentioned in one of the first tips where the bottom membrane was trimmed off. Okay, so enough talking. My buddy Tony decided to get the first taste.
Whoa. Delicious.
Perfect bite through. What do you think, brother?
Really good. The best.
Okay, so now it's my turn. These little bone handles make it a perfect finger food, and the ribs look fantastic. Tender, full of flavor, and a perfect bite through. Okay, so here's a quick recap of the process and products used. So after the trim and butter mustard binders, Chicken Fried's Texas rib grind was used as a base rub, followed by their Texas sweet grind as a topping rub. During the wrap, Chicken Fried's pork and rib wrap was used, and for the finishing glaze, Gulf Coast Smokes cherry pineapple was used. It was a lot of fun this day in barbecue class. Let me know in the comments if you think we should continue the series. Perhaps a brisket backyard barbecue video would be a good idea. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate you hanging out with me on this one. A quick thank you to Extreme Outdoors in La Feria, Texas, and the Natural Born Grillers cooking team for having the class. I'll leave their info in the video description below. Till next time, my good people, take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you on the next one.